Hey everyone, this is Leo Young with Impressive Reviews, Episode 2. Today we will be reviewing The Flash, Season 3, Episode 2, titled Paradox. So I wanted to change it up a bit from the last video where I just went straight into reviewing what the episode was about and give my personal feelings at the beginning, then review, then personal thoughts at the end. So it's really not that much to say. I really enjoyed this episode, and it did a really good job grabbing my attention and trying to pull me on so I can watch the rest. Because there was a certain scene, and I'm going to spoil it, where Dr. Alchemy made a comment saying that he's going to prepare the world. Now that's kind of suspicious because what can alchemy do that affects the entire planet? So I'm going to be staying tuned to pay attention to that. Now, the action was great, and they actually improved on the speedster battles, which was really nice of them because I believe I made this comment in the last video that all the speedster fights were pretty much races, and that was bothersome. Anywho, let's get into the main part of the review. So the show opens up with Barry running over to Star City and meeting with Felicity. He tells her that there are some things he notices that are off because he changed the timeline. One thing, well, not one thing, but a couple things are Cisco isn't happy. Iris and Joe aren't happy. Ain't nobody happy. But you do see that Joe and Iris still work with the Flash at Star Labs, which means Harrison Wells was earbarred on. Zoom still came by. All those adventures still happen. Just personal aspects of life were changed. Like Joe didn't tell Iris about her mother. She learned that on her own somehow, and that's why they stopped talking. Now, another thing is at the CCPD, there's a new character named Julian Dorn who does not like Barry. The thing is, he's been there for a year somehow, and seeing as we've never seen him, that's another large, I wouldn't say large because he isn't personally connected to the Flash, but that's a change in it. Now with Cisco, he goes to a grief support system because his older brother Dante is dead. He was killed by a drunk driver. Now the more important thing is that we all wanted to know if Flashpoint would affect the other shows, and it does, because in Arrow, John Diggle has a son, his son who becomes Connor Hawke from Legends of Tomorrow. So that's great to know. But in the background, Clarice, the rival, goes to find Alchemy, Professor Alchemy, in a cult-like area because he's seen his life in Flashpoint. He wants his powers of the rival. But as that's going on, Joe and Barry meet up with Julian at a crime scene involving human husks, shedded skin. But Julian quickly sends Barry away, and so he goes back to Star Labs to meet up with Cisco and Caitlin, and he makes up this plan where he's going to bring everyone together for dinner and bring them back. However, Joe and Iris call Barry on a lie that he used to bring him out. But it's Cisco who calls Barry out himself for not going back in time to save Dante when he asked. And that's why Barry and Cisco are having a small little argument or a small little fiddle. During the dinner, however, Barry will be notified that Clarice is running around. So he goes to fight Clarice, who says that he remembers his past life. And the two have an amazing race, which was actually great graphics. Now, Barry at one point decides that he needs to go back in time to quote unquote fix everything again until Jay Garrick slaps him out of the timeline, sending him to 1998. Now, the two of them have this amazing conversation about time. And Barry's like, well, listen, I know what I'm doing. But Jay's like, kid, I'm OG Big Daddy Mac Flash. I've been doing this since you were in diapers. So listen to me when I tell you this. You don't know what you're doing. So Barry returns back to his natural or his normal time, and he has like a conversation with everyone. He's like, hey guys, listen, I went back in time, I changed everything, and that saved my mother, and now like everything's fucked up. Excuse my French, we may bleep that out, but everything's messed up. So because he went back in time to save his mother, Cisco gets into a fight with him saying, you didn't save my brother, but you did it for yourself. And Barry's like, listen, now I've learned my lesson. Every time I do it, something bad happens. So Barry goes to CCPD because he has an idea on how to find the rival. He asks Julian for like some notes about the husk, and Julian says that the husk would have came from the sawmill from the river. So Barry runs to the sawmill where he runs up on the rival, but is like blindsided by Alchemy, who uses a stick, no, not a stick, but a stone-like weapon to attack people. So now that Barry is incapacitated, he runs up, the rival runs up on him. He starts throwing him around, thrashing him against items instead of just like doing the thing Zoom did with him in season 2. Now, when he's about to finish off the Flash, Cisco comes up and uses his powers, and they look amazing. And they're once again friends. So after locking after locking the rival up, they go back to Star Labs. Everyone's forgiven Barry, and they leave. But when they leave, that's when Caitlin shows that the final change to the timeline is that she gained her powers of Killer Frost. She's now a metahuman. And, well, that's going to be great to see. Another thing is that Iris and Barry finally kiss and are together. There's no more changes. Now, the after credit scene shows the rival in not Belle Reve, but Iron Heights prison, and someone grabs him. Or something grabs him. All right, so this is Leo's personal thoughts on the episode, and so let's get right into it. First off, I'm already on board that Alchemy is creating the metahumans that Flash will fight. He gave Edward Claris his powers of speed, and I actually believe he will be the reason that Wally will get his speed as well. Not just Wally, but Savitar, with that whole cult scene we saw. Now, that's just that. I have a downside to the show. I was actually very annoyed on how Barry took so long to tell everyone that he messed up by creating another timeline. He basically danced around the entire event, but until the end when he's actually being, scolded by Jay. Now, other than that, I have 2 theories. One's going to be quick, one's going to be long. My first theory is I believe what grabbed Claris in his cell was a Dominator. Now, if you don't know, I'm going to be quick about it. The Dominators are an alien race that comes to Earth to get metahumans, and they will be the main villain of the 4-night crossover between all 4 shows. The other one theory is that I think this universe was planned because Connor Hawke in this universe, and then John Diggle Jr. in the, switch them around. John Diggle Jr. in this universe and Connor Hawke in the Legends of Tomorrow, from what we saw. So I think that this is actually the universe we've been following, but it just had to take its time to grow. Anywho, that's just my thoughts on it. I hope you'd enjoy the review. Tell your friends, subscribe, have a good day.
Talk is cheap, motherfucker!
Hey everyone, I hope you enjoyed this impressive review. I plan to make several more reviews like this one in the future. Right now, I plan on doing most reviews on comic-related medias, but I, along with other members of the impressive Graphix team, will touch upon other subjects that we view and feel are, necessary. Feel free to give us suggestions. Thank you for watching.